Hey guys, Gnomish Enforcer here with another episode of the Gnomish Mafia's Guide for Blood and Profit. Umbrella OP Tactics, or How to Fight Like a Ninja Turtle in Sekiro. In this video, we'll cover how to find and upgrade the Umbrella prosthetic, then we'll kill Snake Eyes, the Shichimen warriors, and Headless for their upgrades. Have these mini-bosses been beating you up and taking your lunch money? Don't worry. By the end of this video, I'll show you how to thoroughly spank these guys, so you'll be the one with extra jingles in your pocket.
Something had happened. A fuse blew, and I had gone out of my skull.
So let's talk about why be a Ninja Turtle. This is a 100% effective tactic. It's fairly foolproof as long as you follow the steps I've outlined here. Just don't expect a super fast takedown. This is a slow and steady wins the race approach, doing guaranteed damage. We'll be using HP death blows, not posture death blows. If you're still working on your deflect game, that's great because you won't have to worry about deflect timing with the umbrella at all. The umbrella will do that for us. Disclaimer, this is not a cheese or a cheat. This is just smart tactics. We're using the equipment exactly as the devs intended. It's just being a smart, sneaky, dirty fighting shinobi. If these guys can use guns, terror buildup, and a giant terror laser to take you down, you can use your umbrella. So let's talk a little bit about when to do this strategy, when to implement the umbrella and take these guys down. So you can get the umbrella fairly early on in the game, giving you a tactical advantage as you move into the mid game. Killing a couple of the headless spirits will grant you the spirit fall upgrades, which basically lets you have an unlimited amount of buff candy in exchange for your spirit emblems. That's a really good trade in a boss fight for sure. And dropping Snake Eyes will give you an extra prayer bead, which everybody needs all the time anyway. So this is really the best way to take down Snake Eyes, hands down, in my opinion. So these are big advantages for you that you can leverage in tough boss fights that are coming. Assuming you haven't killed Genichiro yet, you won't really use the umbrella in that fight, but you'll definitely use the upgrades you get from Headless and from Snake Eyes in that fight for sure. So the umbrella upgrades can be unlocked anytime after gaining access to Ashina Castle and completing the Blazing Bull boss fight. So you have to beat or bypass the Blazing Bull in order to get to the vendor that will sell you the upgrade. You can do this well before the Genichiro fight, well before the Guardian fight, and before you have to take out the ape and the corrupted monk. So you can do this really early on in the game, which is cool because you can definitely use those power-ups. This should probably be your one of your top priorities right after you beat Gyobu, the horse boss. So you beat Gyobu, and then I would immediately go knock out Blazing Bull and then go get the umbrella, just so you can get those upgrades. So if you're struggling with the Blazing Bull fight that unlocks the Ashina Castle, just check out my video called Dancing with the Blazing Bull, and it'll trivialize that fight using firecrackers. So it's really easy to drop him, and I even show you where to go get the firecrackers, so it's not a big deal. So that takes care of when you should find him. Now let's talk about what you need. So you need the Iron Fortress. That's a prosthetic piece. You need the Iron Fortress from a vendor called Blackfoot Badger to unlock the umbrella. We are at the Old Grave idol. If you're not sure how to get here, search my other videos. I've got another video that shows you exactly how to find this this idol. We are in Ashina Castle, and we're just going to drop down. That hole right there is where we want to go. So I'm going to go grab this item real quick while I'm here. And we're just going to drop down. Make sure you bring some cash with you. I'm actually not sure how much cash I've got on me. I got like almost 1200. So this is Black Hat Badger.
But they don't. They just keep sending more. Such a pain in my...
I like him. He's
One of these
sassy.
Nightjar cronies?
No.
Of course not. There's something
Do I look
different
like a
about you.
nightjar?
But I'd say you're in the same line of work. The name's Black Hat
How
Badger.
dare you, sir? How
What's
dare you?
yours? Real sociable one, aren't we? First this stubborn lot, now a down-in-the-dump shinobi, and then those Ashina boys raising hell outside. Could this day get any better?
You're a fugitive.
Something like that.
Okay, we're going to talk to him.
Got clients all over.
And purchase items, purchase items. So he's got two items that we really want. We want his Iron Fortress. It's an iron fan that's going to let us make the umbrella and the anti-air death blow. Definitely go ahead and pick up both of those while you can. Cash in some coin purses, do what you got to do. That's actually what I got to do. It also takes a few mats just to upgrade from the base umbrella to the magnetic umbrella, and then from the magnetic umbrella, I'll show you guys how to update it to the spirit umbrella, the lilac umbrella. That's really what's nice. And then the final upgrade you'll get, which we won't talk about in this video, will let you block. I think it's the crimson umbrella or the phoenix umbrella, and it lets you block fire attacks, which is really really nice. But we're just going to focus on everything up to that fire immunity. We also want to go over to the skill tree for prosthetics and grab projected force skill from that skill tree. That will, it's a really cool effect, and it's the heart of this technique. So the way this skill works is it will let you redirect damage that you take with the umbrella into an offensive attack. And it builds up a charge. So you want to take usually 3 or 4 hits or one big hit with the umbrella, and you'll have a max charge, and you can redirect that energy back at whoever you're fighting. It would also be a really good idea to grab as many spirit emblem upgrades as you can. You'll need really at least 14 or 15 emblems to take out most of these mini bosses. If you don't have that many, that's fine. You can use a divine confetti, but you'll have to finish out the fight with conventional damage if you don't have that many spirit upgrades. If you're short on cash or mats or points for these upgrades, I definitely recommend grinding the Harada estate, at least from the beginning through into Bamboo Thicket where you get the bridge. If you just run that a couple of times, you'll definitely get cash and skill points. That's a really good place to pop your wealth in your possession balloons before and after you do that run. So you pop a possession balloon before you start the run, and you pop a wealth balloon on the way back when you go to pick everything up. So I would also recommend, if you're going to do that, definitely go check out the Demon Bell. I've got a video on how to get to the Demon Bell if you're going to grind to make sure that's turned on. And since we've got the umbrella, you might consider making the run over to the gun fort and grinding there. I've got a really good video on the gun fort grind, and the umbrella makes that run very, very well. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it makes it more easy for sure, because you get shot with snipers the whole time you're running over there. But that's an even better grind spot than the Harada estate. Once you've got everything upgraded to at least the magnetic umbrella, we can go take out Snake Eyes. So let's talk about that tactic. So to take down Snake Eyes, you'll need both the magnetic umbrella and the projected force skill. Whether you're fighting Snake Eyes in the Sunken Valley outside Gunfort, or you're fighting him in the Poison Pool, the tactics are the same. It doesn't really matter. There's just two different spots that you post him up on, and I'll show you both of those in video. Ideally, you get the first death blow via stealth, so you make sure you've got enough spirit emblems to get that second death blow. It makes it really easy. So you can get him in the stealth death blow by creeping up behind him in both the locations he appears. So after you get that first death blow, you'll want to position yourself on a cliff in both locations. There's a cliff that works ideally for this technique. You'll just kite Snake Eyes over to that cliff, and yeah, both of these environments have that cliff for you to be able to do that. So you jump up on the cliff and deploy the umbrella while Snake Eyes shoots you. Do not use the deflect spin attack with the umbrella to use the deflects, because that will consume extra spirit emblems. This is really, really important because your emblems are going to be very limited at this stage. You don't want to waste them using the deflect. It doesn't matter that it's going to build up posture damage on us. We're going to cool it down. So don't spin the umbrella. The secret to maximizing this technique with projected force is knowing that the umbrella builds up a charge based on how much damage it's blocked. You don't want to redirect the force until it's built up to a maximum charge. The umbrella shows its charge buildup by throwing off steam from the top of the umbrella. The more steam that's pouring off of the umbrella, the more damage projected force will do. So watch in this video as you absorb each bullet while holding the umbrella out. The steam will start pouring off the top and start making a sizzling sound. This is when you want to redirect the force that you've built up. It usually takes 3 to 5 shots to build up a maximum charge. Making sure you have a maximum charge before you pop it. When you're ready to project your force buildup, hit the R1 attack while you're still holding out the umbrella. That will let you unleash the projected force instead of an R1 attack. So you just have to make sure the umbrella is still out. If you want to go immediately back into the umbrella, you just keep holding the button and the right trigger, and it will throw the umbrella back out immediately. If you need to dump some of your posture damage, you can just back up and hold the block stance. Just hold it for a couple of seconds and it will dump all of that posture damage really quickly. Then you step back up into the line of fire and hold your umbrella out and just rinse, lather, and repeat, letting him shoot you and building up the projected force damage and then unleashing it and then cooling down posture. So that's the way we drop Snake Eyes. It's a great way to get him out of the way and pick up his prayer bead. Projected force. Okay, well that's not what I wanted to do, but I'll pick it. I'll take it. So just stealth and you lose all of that attention. Gotcha, bitch. And we are going to take off. Going to try and drop one of these guys. Is in the wrong location. Okay. We want to get over here and basically bait her to come this direction. The two lower mobs hopefully will disengage. I believe they will. She will not because we already got a piece of her. And you can take cover behind this little crevice here. And the best way, honestly, to bait her into coming over is to let her see you. There we go. We want her up in this area. Psh, other than her shooting me. Come on now. Woo! Get behind this and heal up. She is no joke with that gun. She is no joke. So we're just going to let her shoot us. 3 shots, and then you hit R1 to do projected force. And you rinse, lather, repeat. As long as you got at least 15, 16 spirit emblems, you got more than enough ammo. And I'm not even letting off the right trigger, y'all. I'm just occasionally tapping after the 3rd shot, tapping R1 or right bumper. It does build up a little heat as you do this, or you lose a little posture damage. So you can take just a moment if you need to throw up block. I probably will here in a minute. just to dump some of that posture damage and recover. Just like that, just like that. If you take more than 3 of those shots, you're losing efficiency um, on projected force. I like the little spiral design in her rifle. The other guys don't have that. Probably why hers hurts more. We'll need to dump some heat after this next one. We're almost there, y'all. Got 1, maybe 2 more. Is she gonna go down? Nope, she's not down yet. She will be on the next one. Smile for me. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it. I know I made that look easy, but that was literally like my 3rd attempt. The real secret is to bait her over here once you get that first kill, and hiding behind that rock definitely works. You might have to get on the rock. Try to stay out of the muck over there for sure. So now that we got our prayer bead from Snake Eyes, we're going to move to the abandoned dungeon, and we're going to drop the Shichimen warrior under the abandoned dungeon. So you'll need 1 more umbrella upgrade to fight spirit enemies. The lilac umbrella upgrade allows you to deflect spirit attacks and will protect you from their terror buildup, so you should need minimal pacifying agents from this point forward in the game. And it upgrades your projected force skill to be able to harm spirits. So now our projected force can do damage to Headless and Shichimen warriors. Also, I mean, dig the pimpin' lilac color. That's really cool. You'll likely still need at least 1 divine confetti and a pacifying agent or 2 in order to finish off the warrior, but it's not nearly as much as you would need if you were not using this projected force strat and you didn't have the lilac umbrella. You'll just need 1 or 2 for this fight as long as you follow these steps. I typically only need a single divine confetti and a single pacifying agent until you get this next item. When we get the drop from this guy, we're going to have access to an extra 15 spirit emblems per rest, which is really going to make our Ninja Turtle strategy much, much more effective. So you're going to want to take the tunnel at the bottom of the abandoned dungeon area with the crickets, and this will lead you to the first warrior. This guy drops a ceremonial Tonto that will let you trade HP, hit points, for extra spirit emblems. When you first join the fight, close quickly and get a few free hits in. It's only going to do chip damage, but if we were to deploy a Divine Confetti right now, it would go away. The Lilac Umbrella will actually eat the rest of your Divine Confetti charge as soon as you use Projected Force. So don't pop a Divine Confetti until after you're completely out of emblems. It would just be a waste. So at some point, he's going to fly away and hang in the air. See if you can jump up and kill him while avoiding all the balls. If you picked up the mid-air death blow skill from Blackfoot Badger, you'll be able to knock out a whole death blow while he's floating. The timing's kind of tricky, it's difficult to do, so it's not a guaranteed thing. You don't have to have it. But it's definitely worth the free death blow if you can pull off the move. So avoid his floating spirit balls until you deploy the umbrella. Those spirit balls are what builds up terror. He'll also launch a barrage of these balls, and they'll eventually he'll launch a laser beam. All of these can be completely absorbed by holding the open umbrella. You can also get a perfect parry on these and deflect them that way, but we want the umbrella to absorb these because this is what's going to feed our projected force. Once deployed, you'll want to hold the umbrella open and walk around. You'll walk slowly, but you'll be able to move because you want to minimize redeployment. Every redeployment of the umbrella will take another spirit emblem, and we want to be able to maximize those until we get the Tonto from this guy. So it'll take several of the little spirit balls to make the umbrella sizzle, but it only takes one of the laser beam to get to max charge. So you'll want to hold the umbrella while you waddle to him and clear out any spirit balls near him before popping him with the projected force. Absorbing spirit energy balls does no posture damage, so there's no need to cool down posture in this fight like we had to with Snake Eyes. You'll spend most of this fight waddling to him like a little piggy, following him as he teleports. It takes a while to get over there to him, but it takes a second to build up a charge on the umbrella anyway. So you're just going to waddle to him and build up a charge and take another hit. So you want to rinse, lather, and repeat with that same technique until you've completely knocked him out. Uh, until can you kill him? He's already dead, discorporated, whatever you want to call him. Until you got both death blows on him. If you run out of emblems before the last death blow, that's when you want to pop a divine confetti, and then you can just burn him down really quick with the divine confetti. Remember, you can deflect the balls and the laser beams. It'll just take a perfect parry to do it, and you might need some pacifying agent at that point. But this is the last time you'll have to fight anybody like this because you'll have plenty of spirit emblems from here on out. So once he's shuffled off the immortal coil, he'll drop that ceremonial Tonto. So I would use it as an equipable item because you're going to want access to that pretty quickly. And it'll let you get 5 emblems, and it'll take half of your hit points, and you can use that up to 3 times before it needs to be reset by resting at an idol. Those extra emblems mean you never have to farm the upper antechamber for divine confetti or spend 300 bucks per confetti at the in-game vendor that sells them. So this is a really good part of the tactic. Once you have this, you'll have plenty of spirit emblems to move over to the Headless. So let's talk about the Headless tactic next. Okay, so let's talk about the Headless tactic. You can find the first or above ground Headless at the stairway idol near where you fought the chained ogre and the second general anyways. So you want to run out the back of the general's arena and make a right towards the small shrine building. Grab the free divine confetti here if you don't already have it. No, I mean honestly at this point you really don't need it until you get to the underwater Headless because you've got Tonto. So grapple and climb your way to the Headless tunnel. And you'll see him below in the darkness. Don't worry about trying to get a diving death blow on this guy. He's immune to that completely. But don't be scared. He's super easy with this strat, and if you fought him and struggled with him before, don't worry. You shouldn't need a divine confetti, and he's probably not even going to hit you. So as soon as you jump down, the fight's on. Deploy and hold the umbrella to start building up projected force charges. The deployed umbrella automatically blocks his attacks and his terror buildup while blocking, so that makes this fight much easier. You don't have to worry about terror buildup. You're already slowed down because of the umbrella, so his slowing mist doesn't have any effect on us really at this point. If you're careful with your spirit emblem use, you should only need to hit the dagger once, maybe twice to finish off both of his death blows. We'll use much the same tactics we used with Snake Eyes, but in this fight, the Headless can teleport to us, so we can't use a cliff as a barrier like we did before. This means we do the Ninja Turtle waddle a lot in this fight, and that also means you can easily get max charge on projected force because you can control when and where he's going to hit you because everything's going so slowly. You want to keep out of the Headless grab attack. That can easily kill you in one shot for sure. So stay stay out of his grab attack. He does that after he teleports. I've heard you can deflect grab attacks if your timing is impeccable, but I'm a sneaky, dirty fighting ninja, not a samurai, so I just make sure I'm moving after he teleports to avoid that grab attack altogether. Wait until you see him do a whirlwind attack where he swings his sword in a giant circle and then teleports. Immediately turn around while still holding the umbrella open and wait for the headless to appear behind you. When he first appears, it's the best time to deploy the projected force, so lock on quickly and pop him before he makes his grab attack. He loves to try and port behind you and do that attack. Hit him with the projected force and immediately back up to avoid any incoming attack. While you've got some space, hold block to dump any posture damage you're holding. You can hold block like this until the very last second when he closes on you, because your next move is going to be to deploy the umbrella, and the deflects with the umbrella are really easy, so you can wait till the last second. You'll need to take 4 or 5 of his hits to max out your projected force charge. So in the name of efficient emblem use, I sometimes hold the umbrella open through a teleport cycle because I don't have enough charge on the umbrella yet to get a max power projected force. Also, the idea here is to maximize usage. So keep an eye on every time you deploy or spin the umbrella, it uses a charge. Because of this, I tend to spend the whole fight in the Ninja Turtle stance under the umbrella, so I don't have to redeploy it very often. So use the ceremonial dagger if you have it to top up your emblems when you need to. Being able to use that dagger basically means you're guaranteed to have enough emblems to get through both death blows without needing a divine confetti. But if for any reason you need to use a divine confetti and sword fight this guy, remember this. Try to keep yourself in the middle of the platform so he can't corner you. That's true while you've got the shield too. You want to try to keep the middle ground. Also, remember, if sword fighting with this guy, you'll need to use near perfect deflect timing to avoid the terror buildup. But you should only need to grind his last bit of health off, if at all. So if you're deflecting, but you're still getting terror, your deflect timing might be a little off. You need really crisp, perfect sword deflects to avoid terror buildup on this guy. You should be able to polish off all of the above ground headless with this technique. So I'll close out with a couple of pointers in taking out the underwater headless. You can't use the umbrella underwater, so you need divine confetti for those fights. Remember, you have to pop the divine confetti before you get in the water and get back out of the water to reapply the confetti. That's the bad news. The good news is underwater headless are fairly easy. Stay mobile to avoid their attacks. As long as you're moving, they're really not going to be able to hit you. Close in when you see an opening, when their attack pattern comes to an end. You can get 3 or 4 attacks really quickly and then back off and start circling again to wait for another attack window. If you stay in too long, they'll get you with this suction attack, and that's no bueno. Also, spoiler here, stop if you don't want to know the rest of the locations for Headless and Spirit Warriors, because we're going to talk about that. There's another above ground Headless to fight after diving into the pool at the bottom of Sunken Valley. But you need the diving skill from killing Corrupted Monk after the end of Mibu Village, so you have to beat Genichiro before that pathway is even opened up. Once you get the diving skill, there's several underwater headless in several locations with large pools, including Fountainhead Palace. There's multiple headless there underwater, and Ashina Castle has at least one underwater headless. Pretty sure there's only one in Ashina Castle. The diving skill also unlocks new areas in just about all water locations, giving access to headless and their treasure, extra treasure carp scales, prayer beads, and there's a couple of other surprises. So it's definitely worth exploring everywhere again once you get access to the diving skill. Anyway, now you guys have a black belt in turtle tactics, and you can ransack a whole slew of mini bosses. So, if you've learned anything from this, or you were just entertained by this video, please like and subscribe to get notified for more videos coming up, and we definitely have a lot coming up. Also, soon look for us on TikTok and Instagram for shorter versions of our guides. So, love to hear from you guys. Gnomish Mafia Enforcers signing off.
More realistic? Guys, real combat is not like a video game.
Hey, coins! I don't get it. Just one guy?
Maybe this guy is the meanest, baddest, most deadly ninja we've ever seen. Oh. Or not.